So I am here with Teshara with the Sustainable Community Advocates, and we just got done with the first roundtable session of 4, talking about different environmental and sustainable policies that he would present to Senator Feinstein, and basically just going over what the community thinks as far as dealing with these different issues and different ideas. Is that a good sum up of what we went through? So I just had a few questions. What was the goal of the roundtable discussion?
Well, as you indicated, Senator Feinstein has asked for kind of what's on people's minds. We're familiar with sort of the big environmental issues, lots going on that's different in the world, and sort of what's on people's minds. And I think the impressive thing today was to hear that people are interested in stewardship and taking better care of the place. A lot of what TRPA was really all about in the very beginning, 40 years ago, in the first compact in 1969, was that locals couldn't be trusted. So we had to impose this structure on them, which had a lot of involvement from people out of the area, because the locals couldn't be trusted to be stewards of the basin. That has significantly changed, and I think we heard that very clearly in today's session, that the people who live here want to be better stewards, can be trusted to be better stewards. Certainly Tahoe is a resource that has national and regional importance, and those people who are interested at that policy level, folks like Senator Feinstein, although she certainly has a house here, she grew up here a lot as a young girl, but the locals need to be brought back into the equation in a more meaningful way. We heard about stewardship, we heard about placemaking in our community, so it was a very, very refreshing and important discussion.
Sure. So would you say that's the most important takeaway you took from the discussion today, or are there some other more hard-hitting issues that you think are going to be great to present? Like, what was your favorite?
Well, it's really not about me, but I think that the transportation came up several times. Sure. There is this notion of complete streets, which is very important for a place like Tahoe, where the regional compact requires de-emphasizing the use of the automobile by celebrating and bringing forward bicycling, walking, and other modes of transportation. So complete streets is sort of redefining the street as king, and saying, yes, the street and the car is important, but there has to be equal opportunity for people who want to bike or walk, and it has to be safe, and it has to be a nice design. So that came up several times today. Obviously the issue of water clarity, which has been big in Tahoe for decades, but also the nearshore water quality with aquatic invasive species and algae growth and things where people come to Tahoe, they hear a lot about the clarity, and they look at the first few feet that they see when they look at the lake, and it's not at all attractive, and that's a combination of different things. So there's some really traditional sort of meaty combination of science and policy of what to do about those kinds of things, in addition to the more broad terms of stewardship.
Sure. And so when you take these issues to Senator Feinstein and you basically decide on which policies you're going to implement and things like that, who helps you with that?
It's a broad base of residents and stakeholders and the local governments. I may be the one handing it to her, but it's not me. It's really coming from the community, and the senator always looks at it from that perspective, and then she looks at the issues, and here's one where I can help you, or this is one that's more suited for the local governments to deal with. So she's been around a long time, not only at Tahoe, but working in the public policy arena and investment arena. So she takes the input, she appreciates it, she picks ones that she's going to be personally involved with, and helps us delegate out, some to the states, some to local governments, and she's very good about that. So we try to give her robust input, and then she helps us sort out where the emphasis or who ought to be the lead on taking certain actions forward would be.
Excellent. Well, I'd like to thank Steve for coming in and speaking with me and allowing me to participate in the roundtable and put in my 2 cents as being a resident here. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it.
Good luck.